Time to show you something exciting real quick. New shirt, Creep Show. Got this back on Halloween. So for a while now, I've been trying to figure out another movie to do for Quick Thoughts, and then it hit me. The Monster Squad from 1987. Having recently rewatched this movie on the big screen. That's right, they brought it back for a limited time because there's not a whole lot of new movies out there, and they're bringing back some old classics, and it was part of the Halloween season, so that's pretty cool. And there was only like 2 people there in the auditorium with me because the times were in, so it was understandable. But having the opportunity to see this movie on the big screen, what an opportunity that was. Aside from seeing this in theaters recently, the first time I ever saw this movie was in 2013. It was on demand on a thing called FearNet. They showed different horror movies. Night of the Creeps was on there too, if I remember. But so if you ever remember FearNet and seen many different horror movies on there, it was pretty cool. So The Monster Squad is directed by Fred Dekker, co-written by Shane Black and Fred Dekker. Previously, before The Monster Squad, Fred Dekker worked on and directed Night of the Creeps, classic. And then after The Monster Squad would direct RoboCop 3, even though that's not horror, I just wanted to bring it up. Going into what happens in this movie, there's a group of kids who are monster fanatics, and they have this club called the Monster Squad. It's not called the Monster Squad at first, if I remember, and then it becomes the Monster Squad, called that later on. My memory's sucking. But anyway, so they find out there's real monsters about, with Dracula and his monsters invading their hometown, and they have to save it. It's up to them, and yes. The monsters featured in this movie: Dracula, the Mummy, the Wolfman, the Gill Man, which is Creature from the Black Lagoon, and then Frankenstein's monster, who's just called Frankenstein in it. What I love about this movie is the nostalgic feel of like the Universal monster movies or the Hammer monster movies from the 50s and 60s, or movies like Stand By Me, The Goonies, or the It movies. There's many classic quotes from this movie, and I'll tell you a few of my favorites. One of them being, "Kick 'em in the nards!" And the other, "Wolfman's got nards!" So random but fun. And then the very end, one of my other favorites is, "We're the Monster Squad." A couple random parts that I want to bring up that made me go, what? One of them being Van Helsing's Diary. How it comes about in the Monster Squad, it comes from a garage sale. And it's not even shown. The other being this guy that few of the kids from the squad goes to have Van Helsing's Diary translated because it's in German. So this guy, his name is Scary German Guy. I kid you not, that's the character's name. It's even in the end credits. This movie has some pretty cool effects from that time, and also monster makeup effects done by Stan Winston Studio. Awesome. The chemistry between the characters, like the Monster Squad, has that chemistry of like the Goonies, Stand By Me, the It movies, some of those titles I mentioned before. So it's fun to watch. And then the chemistry between Frankenstein and the Monster Squad together, like when they're hanging out and whatnot. And then the ending with what happens to Frankenstein, excuse me, because they don't call him Frankenstein's monster. So what happens to him at the end when he goes away with Dracula in the big swirly thing, spoiler alert. Yeah, so you don't want to see Frankenstein go away and just the music playing and it's like, oh man. I could go on and on more about this movie, but I'm going to go ahead and conclude by saying, while this has cheese and stupid stuff in this, it's still an entertaining time. And I recommend this movie if you haven't seen it.